US President Donald Trump reiterated his plan to buy Gaza, intending to use it as a site for future development. Trump initially announced the plan almost a week ago after meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. His offer drew international backlash, with both Arab and European countries as well as China, Australia and Brazil expressing their opposition against forcibly displacing the Palestinian population.
I'm committed to buying and owning Gaza. As far as us rebuilding it, we may give it to other states in the Middle East to build sections of it. Other people may do it through our auspices. But we're committed to owning it, taking it, and making sure that Hamas doesn't move back. There's nothing to move back into. The place is a demolition site.
Speaking on the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas, Trump said he was losing his patience after seeing footage of the release of the latest 3 Israeli hostages. He also spoke on Russia's ongoing invasion in Ukraine, which he wants to end soon. The US president claimed the war would have never happened if he had been president.
US National Security Advisor Mike Waltz has said senior members of the administration will meet with European officials this week to discuss how to end the war in Ukraine. The push comes almost 3 years after Russia launched its full-scale invasion in 2022. Waltz said the Russian economy isn't doing well and that Trump is prepared to tax, to tariff, to sanction Moscow to get Putin to the negotiating table. Waltz also said the Trump administration is looking to use the meetings to begin talks on clawing back some of the US assistance to Ukraine. He said European allies will also need to take a greater role in supporting Ukraine going forward. Trump said the US is talking to Russia about Ukraine without Kyiv's input, saying his administration has already had very serious discussions. That runs counter to the Biden administration's position that echoed Zelensky's call of nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine.
I've had it. Let's just say I've had it. And I expect to have many more conversations. We have to get that war ended. It's going to end. And we have to get it ended. And we have to get it ended soon. Should have never happened, would have never happened if I was president.
Vice President J.D. Vance will head to the Munich Security Conference later this week, where President Volodymyr Zelensky will lead Ukraine's delegation. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Trump's Special Envoy on Ukraine and Russia Keith Kellogg will also attend the Munich conference. On Wednesday, Hegseth will attend a meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group at the NATO headquarters in Brussels.
Russia launched a wave of overnight drone attacks on several Ukrainian cities, including the capital Kyiv, as well as cities in the Donetsk and Sumy regions. The armed forces of Ukraine said the Russian army launched 83 drones. One of those struck near a high-rise building in a residential area in Sumy, damaging several houses and dozens of vehicles. 65 residents were evacuated and 1 woman was injured. No casualties were reported.
Було дуже жорстко. Я думала, що нам конец. Я считала 3, 2, 1. Сейчас, наверное, все. Резко, страшно. Все було світле, окна задрожали, все задрожало. Було таке почуття, наче дім піднявся отак от.
In the Donetsk region, at least 5 people were injured in the shelling of a residential neighborhood in Kostiantynivka. And in Kramatorsk, 1 person was killed and 9 injured after an aerial bomb struck the city.
Втрачено деяку техніку, втрачено в оглядовому кабінеті жіночому оглядовому, втрачено освітлювальне обладнання і втрачено деякі компоненти. На щастя, більшість вдалося врятувати.
Also, Kyiv was struck where a drone attack sparked a fire in a non-residential building. The mayor reported no injuries. Meanwhile, in Russia, authorities said debris of a Ukrainian drone damaged the roof of a 19-story residential complex in Krasnodar. They reported no injuries or casualties.
Ein Skandal, übrigens ein
German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has said the European Union can act in an hour if US President Donald Trump slaps tariffs on the bloc. Speaking in the first TV debate before snap elections later in the month, Scholz said his strategy for dealing with Trump is clear words and friendly conversations. He pointed to his public statements about respecting borders after Trump said he wouldn't rule out the use of military force to take control of the Panama Canal and Greenland. He also stressed the importance of European unity and said he and other countries are working on proposals to increase NATO's presence in Greenland. Trump pitched the idea of taking control of Greenland on the campaign trail last year, saying it was important for America's national security. He said he could impose financial penalties or even use the military to force Denmark to cede the island to the United States. Scholz also described Trump's suggestion that the US could take ownership of Gaza, relocate its population and redevelop it as a scandal. Scholz's main challenger, the Christian Democratic Union's Friedrich Merz, also voiced unease about the proposal but suggested there's a lot of rhetoric coming from Washington. Merz said the new US president is predictably unpredictable. Merz, who is the frontrunner in the 23rd of February snap elections, also discussed top domestic issues with Scholz, such as Germany's struggling economy and migration.
A high-stakes AI summit in Paris opened on Monday, where major world leaders are meeting as tech titans fight for dominance in the fast-moving technology industry. Heads of state, top government officials, and CEOs from around 100 countries are participating, including U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, who arrived on Monday. Vance is expected to meet many European leaders at the summit in what is his first overseas trip since taking office. The summit also comes as AI becomes the latest flashpoint in US-China rivalry. Ahead of the summit, French President Emmanuel Macron on Sunday said investors will pump 109 billion euros into artificial intelligence projects in France in the coming years.
Avec elle, ses grands partenaires, l'Europe va accélérer, la France va accélérer. Et donc, pour nous, la France, on annonce demain à ce sommet 109 milliards d'euros d'investissement dans l'intelligence artificielle sur les prochaines années.
The Paris summit, which gathers major players, aims at fostering AI advances in sectors like health, education, environment, and culture.
Romania is the latest country to join a supermarket boycott that has spread across the Balkans. The movement started in Croatia to protest rising grocery prices and a worsening cost of living crisis. In Romania, the far-right pro-Russian presidential candidate Călin Georgescu took to social media to urge his supporters to join the boycott. He accused foreign-owned supermarkets of not selling Romanian products and eliminating cashier jobs by introducing self-checkout lanes. But others also criticized the boycott. Romania's Minister for Agriculture warned the boycott could actually harm Romanian producers.
Dacă vorbim de producători locali și trebuie să integrăm în magazinele de retail, aici trebuie să discutăm de cantități. De aceea noi, Ministerul Agriculturii, întotdeauna am încurajat cooperarea pentru a putea merge în fața retailului și a negocia ca aceste produse românești realizate prin cooperative să fie pe magazinele de retail.
While supermarket prices are still a concern for many Romanians, some people have also started a counter-boycott, calling on people to support Romanian brands at their local supermarkets on Monday.
In the Dutch province of Limburg, residents had the rare chance this weekend to walk on the bottom of a drained canal. For months, they had been watching the works at the Juliana Canal from a distance. The chance to see it up close meant the 3,600 tickets for this open day were sold out in no time.
Ja, dat het toch allemaal groter en dieper en breder is als dat je vanaf de brug een opweg kijkt.
Those who managed to buy a ticket expressed excitement as they walked along the 4-kilometer stretch of drained land.
Een van die projecten die maak je gewoon nooit meer mee. Dat is 1 keer in de 10.000 jaar dat die maar een keer voorkomen.
Je moet het meemaken een keer. En het water wil ik eigenlijk ook nog zien komen, maar dat is pas voor in april. Hè.
Some residents hoped to find some treasure on their visit, but were left disappointed.
En uiteindelijk lag er niks. Althans, niet van waarde. Een oude auto wel en een paar oude fietsen, heel veel oude fietsen, gedumpt en wel. En een brandkast met een mooi gaatje erin, al opengemaakt door de dieven. Maar er zat niks meer in wat van waarde was, nee.
The canal is being made deeper and wider so that larger ships can pass through it. In order to drain it, a dam was built, after which 1.9 billion litres of water could slowly drain away. The project will take months and is expected to be completed this spring.
Raccontiamo tantissime storie di viaggio. La prima è quella del console Cesare Poma, che è un diplomatico e collezionista italiano che raccoglie dei giornali che noi presentiamo. Poi c'è all'interno di questo viaggio, c'è nascosto il viaggio di 2 giornalisti francesi che fanno il giro del mondo, inventandosi un giornale che viene pubblicato in varie parti del mondo. Poi ci sono le storie di 6 donne che in piena età vittoriana decidono di infrangere le convenzioni dell'epoca e di partire da sole, cosa che non era assolutamente permesso, per un loro giro del mondo.
Leggendo di queste donne, di come queste donne per viaggiare in epoca vittoriana hanno immediatamente sentito il bisogno di cambiarsi d'abito, perché altrimenti comunque era poco comodo per viaggiare, specie in bicicletta, con una bicicletta da 90 kg, e come il primo elemento che hanno tolto è il corsetto.